What's up, guys? Welcome back to Big Yogi's Garage. Today I got Dalton Gadwell. What's up, Dalton?
Yes, sir. Appreciate you having me on, man. I'm a big fan of your show.
Thanks, man.
Yes, sir.
Everybody calls you what?
DG.
DG.
My initials, DG. Dalton Gadwell.
All right, DG, man. Nice to meet you, DG.
Yes, sir.
I played flag football with you in the same league. I used to play for the Homeboys. Who did you play for?
I played for a few teams. I played for the Predators primarily, Heavy Artillery, which was back in 2016, and previous to that, it was called Justice. We were a lower division team. We came down from Michigan. We sucked. We won 2-3 games a year.
Yeah.
We're that team everyone kind of felt bad for, but we played hard, man.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I mean,
Okay, so you played flag football in the same. What years was this?
so I started in 2015, the year after I graduated high school, or it might be 2016. Played for a few years, then blew out my ACL meniscus, took about 2 years off, came back, played in a knee brace, and then played for about 3 more years after that, and I stopped playing after fall of 2019.
Dang, I played flag football and I tore my ACL too.
It's horrible.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
I can't believe that happens all the time. All right, so we want to talk about your training camp.
Yes, sir.
I want to talk about all your fitness, your youth fitness training camp. Tell me a little bit about that. What is it all about?
So my brother Jake Prisbilo, that's a JP in the DGJP Training Camp. Him and I, 3 years ago, started a youth fitness camp in Woodhaven, Michigan, where we live. And for all the people, this is a Toledo podcast. I live 20 minutes south of Detroit and 20 minutes north of Monroe.
Yeah.
So you can kind of picture where that's at, driving towards Detroit. There's a big hill on the left-hand side in Woodhaven. We're right over there. That's where our location is.
Okay, so you grew up in Michigan.
Yes, sir.
So you didn't grow up in Toledo. How did you even hear about Toledo's flag football thing?
So I got in a year after graduate high school, and there was a few guys who lived in the Monroe-Newport area, if anybody knows where that's at. They found the league, and I had a friend on the team, and he reached out to me, and he's like, because I played football in high school. I was a pretty good player, not great, not good enough to play college. They were looking for guys to play, and they were looking for guys who wanted to play more of a physical brand of football. And, you know, I was 18, 19 years old, and I'm still athletic. Your hamstrings aren't too tight. You're still young. So they hit me up. I played. I absolutely loved it. Wish I was still playing now. Wish we had a league closer to home, which I am working on, which we'll touch on that a little later. But so
that's how you learn. That's how we're. I just want to know how did we ended up.
We crossed paths on the field.
Yeah, on the field.
You played for the Homeboys, and I was on the Predators. I remember, and your team was trolling me because I used to wear like a crop top jersey, and they were all yelling belly shirt and stuff, and I was getting trolled the whole game.
Did we have like a big quarterback?
Yeah. He kept getting me with the pump fake. I was playing DN. He would get me every single time, man.
His name is J-Boy. He's a really good quarterback.
Yeah,
he used to
dope,
play quarterback like in high school and stuff.
He's like Ben Roethlisberger, the flag league, man.
He likes the Bills, so when you call him Ben Roethlisberger, he gets mad.
Josh Allen guy.
Yeah, he's a Josh Allen guy. All right, so back to the fitness camp. So how did that all start? Tell me a little bit more about it.
So we got to flash back to 2020.
Okay.
And I don't know what it was like in Ohio, but I'll speak for Michigan. Were you guys shut down in terms of gyms and everything in that span between spring and summer of 2020?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we didn't have gyms, and basically how this all started is, and I kind of got to talk about my push-up background to get into the whole camp thing.
Okay.
I was known in Woodhaven from the year I graduated high school just for doing push-ups.
Okay.
I was like a push-up machine. I was doing them in school. I was doing them everywhere, thousands a day. And I'm talking all the way to the ground, all the way up. And that's all I did. I wasn't really a weightlifter. I was just doing push-ups, and my social media, everyone knew it. I mean, that's what I was known for in high school. That's what I became known then. And every time people come up to me, they get on the ground, start doing push-ups. So that was a thing. So
did you have a nickname or anything? The push-up guy?
The Vanilla Gorilla. That was my nickname. Yeah, man. That's what they're all calling me.
Yeah, that's cool.
But when everything got shut down, I felt like at that time, if there was anyone who could set something up and teach guys a different way to work out via calisthenics, because not everyone has the luxury of a home gym. Not many people do. It's expensive. And a lot of people, when all that stuff happened, they were lost. They're mentally, it was a tough time on all of us. We were confused. Nobody knew what was going on. So I was at that time going through a rough time too. I got kicked out of my house, which we could touch on later. Didn't have a lot of money, was living in an empty apartment, which I could barely afford my bills. And those are all things I'll take accountability on, explain a little later. I just started every day for 50 days straight. I would do a push-up challenge in my apartment or outside. And what I would do, I'd set a 1 hour alarm, and I would do 20 push-ups, and then every, let's say, 30 seconds, do 20 more. Every minute, do 20 more. And I would just do that, and every day I would just keep decreasing the time. So by the time I got to the very end, and I called it my own individual camp, like how boxers do that.
Yeah.
So by the time I got to the very end, I did 1,600 push-ups in an hour. And it was just crazy, because there's not many people in the world, you can look that up, who've done that. And I got to that, and I was documenting all of this on my Snapchat and Facebook, and everybody's just like, a few people said to me, you should be training people right now because you know what to do in a time where there's no machines, there's no weights, you know the way to train. I'm very into the prison-style military training of calisthenics and having limited resources and finding ways to get things done. So I started, so one day, I was out on a football field just working out, and I did this other push-up workout. And I'm not going to get into all the workouts I did. I do this workout where I do 10 push-ups, I go 10 yards, do another 10 push-ups. I just do it all the way down the football field and come back.
Do you walk the yards or do you?
I walk.
Crawl? Okay.
Yeah. My cardio ain't the best to be doing the bear crawler.
Yeah, I was just wondering how that went. So you do 10 push-ups and you walk 10 yards, do 10 more.
Yeah, and then you do, I think it's 110 if you go all the way down, and then I would do 8 or 9 of those, and you're doing over 1,000. Just, it's hard.
Okay.
So I was on the football field one day, and I started posting all my content, and I started thinking, I'm like, I should set group training up. I didn't know at the time, I call it a camp, just group training, put the word out there, give a date and time, see who comes out. So there's this location where we live, it's called the Bar. It's a push-up bar, it's in a park, and that's primarily where I did a lot of my training at, was that bar. I would go out there, rain, snow, sleet, or hail. I would just grind. Thousands of push-ups. Didn't give a shit about anything else. I would just go out there and do it. So I put the word out there. I said, Wednesday, 12 o'clock, it's going to be group training. And there was one kid we had 3 kids show up the first time. I only said 2 kids and 1 adult. And it was a family friend who sent, I'm good friends with her son, oldest son, played basketball with them, and her 2 youngest sons were football stars. One's now playing football at Syracuse. So she's like, I'm going to send my sons out and support. And they come out the first day, and it's about 85 degrees, and it was so small. Nobody knew what this was at the time. I didn't know what it was going to turn into.
You didn't even know exactly what it was.
I was making it up as we went. I didn't have plans. I didn't have a name. We didn't have clothes, nothing.
Okay.
So I'm just like, what we're going to do, we're just going to do push-up workouts. The very first day, it was, like I said, it was excruciating hot outside. So I said, this is what we're going to do. We're going to set
summertime?
Yes, it was June 2020.
Oh, man.
So,
hot.
And that push-up bar, if you don't have gloves, will burn your hands up. So I told these guys, this is what we're going to do. There's 4 of us, so we're going to pick a set number of push-ups we're going to do each time. We're just going to go back to back to back to back for an hour straight with no breaks. Okay. So I would do 20, they would do 10 or 5 or whatever. So we just kept going, and another round, another round, another round. And the only break you would get is while you're not going. It's not like we kept this thing going the entire time. And within 30 minutes, these guys weren't used to training like that. All the push-ups, these guys are exhausted, they're busting their ass, and they're emptying out everything they got in their tank. So what I noticed, though, is the amount of support these guys would give each other when they weren't going. They're all brothers, all super driven, hardworking guys. And when one of them wasn't going, they were all on the ground clapping and being supportive. And I just got this like vibe that this could turn into something big. Just granted, and I don't want to sound insensitive here, COVID was a tough time for a lot of people. A lot of people lost loved ones. A lot of people lost their jobs or whatever. I could capitalize on this time because I felt like God put me here to be a light and help people at this given time where there isn't much else.
Of course.
So I got at that moment doing that, as small as it was, these guys busted their ass and gave everything they had, and the vibe and the morale was like, did you play football in high school?
No, not in high school, but like in elementary and stuff like that.
Okay.
I didn't have the grades, but I know what you mean. Like
the locker room morale. The brotherhood, which is unmatched and you don't get back in life. When it's over, it's over. The brotherhood, the camaraderie, the support. It gave me that vibe, which I had in high school, and those are the things you mourn for as an adult and wish you could go back on. So I seen that from that day, and I went home and I told my mom, and my mom at the time didn't know anything about this. She didn't want to hear it. She's just like, I'll get into my parents later on, but she was just like, she's like, it's cool and all, but don't be going on social media talking about that you had a few guys out to the park to work out. It ain't no big deal. So we
Moms
do that.
are like that. My mom was like that.
She wanted me to stay focused on work and saving money. And like I said, we'll get on to the whole, we had a little brief fallout years back, but we did all that. And after that, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try and just keep going with this, see where it goes. So I decide I'm going to call it a camp. Just a camp, like how boxers do their camps or summer football camps, whatever you want to call it. So
like
I
Mayweather camp.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we do that, and I start promoting on social media. I think it was a week after. I'm like, this Saturday at 4 o'clock, and this was back on Saturdays when guys weren't going to the bar because nothing was open.
Yeah.
They weren't. Most of these guys weren't working there collecting unemployment, and they didn't have nothing to do.
Nobody had nothing to do.
So I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm going to set a date and time, see what happens. I put it all over social media, and this is back when we're just training adults. We haven't started training kids yet. That first day we do it, we go out, we have 8 adults. And by adults, I mean college guys, maybe end of high school in their 20s. So we do that, and I had my boy Jake Prisbilo, who I told you about, the JP and DGJP Training Camp, and I had my other boy Trent Bauer, great guy as well. And I'm like, we're going to kind of all run different stations here because there's a pull-up bar, there's a dip bar, and a push-up bar, and then we have open field. We could do legs, cardio. We're all going to pick something, and we're going to run stations, and we're going to work out with the guys who come to set the example. That's a big thing I'm a proponent of, is that the trainer should be doing it with them so they know you're about that action, man. Like Brian always says, you guys know. But we start doing that, and the first day is great. It's hot. Guys are busting their ass. They're throwing up. But I told them, I'm like, you're entering a new realm of training that not many people are used to. This is hard. It's difficult. It's new. Your body's going to have to adjust to it. You're used to lifting weights and doing machines. This is a whole nother ball game. This is what dudes do when they lose everything and they still want to be active, man. Bust down, do push-ups, pull-ups. It's another animal, man. So we're doing this, and these guys are busting their ass. And every single guy there, these guys don't know each other. Apart from a few of us, these guys don't know each other. We're all strangers, and we all came from different backgrounds, different races, but it doesn't matter. I've seen this brotherhood thing where I'm like, we all can maximize each other's potential doing this. And there's I was doing this for free. I was struggling money-wise myself, and I was doing this for free because I'm like, this shit could turn into something special. So we go out throughout the summer, and I'm not going to get into every workout we had. It was just really cool. The biggest one we had that year, we had 12 guys. And this is when I get introduced to Bryant Hayes, that a lot of you guys from Toledo know. One of the best flag football players from Toledo that you've had on this show.
Yeah, I had him on my podcast.
That was a great episode. That was the first one I seen, and he's phenomenal.
Yeah, he's a good dude, man.
So
he trains kids and stuff. He's a good ass.
Me and him kind of walk similar. We're in similar paths in terms of what we're trying to get done. So that's why me and him relate so well. But we have a few guest trainers. We had a bodybuilder from Westland, which is another city in Michigan. He came out, volunteered. We had a big turnout for that, and that was cool. We had a few people from the city even come to watch because it started to make a little bit of noise, nothing huge, but people were taking note that there was something going on, something cool. And so, to flash back, a few months prior, I did play football with Bryant in Toledo. I played against him, and I was a quarterback, and he was a defensive end, and that guy made my life a living hell, man. Every single play he was in the backfield. And I'm just like, this dude, I'm like, how old is this guy? Because he looks young, but I knew he was a little bit older.
Yeah, more mature.
Monster. Monster. He's ripped, and he's just a freak of nature. So I added Brian on Facebook because something I like to do, and I'm sure you're the same way. You like to add guys who can inspire you on social media.
Yeah, I do that.
Get to see stuff, to take ideas and kind of pick their brains and stuff.
Yep. Yes, sir.
So I'm running the camp, and we're running these sessions, and Bryant just kind of starts liking a few of my things, and I know who he is, and I'm like, that'd be kind of sweet if this guy would show up because I know how he was built, and I've seen his fitness stuff. And I know the athlete he is. He starts commenting, just saying, good shit, good job, man. I love what you're doing and all this stuff. So one morning we're going in, and Bryant texts me. He's like, what's the address of the camp? I'm like, oh, shit, man. So I tell a few of the guys there, I'm like, this guy coming today is a freak of nature, man. He might be a little intimidating to you, but this guy is a monster. Bryant shows up, and we're all watching him walk up. I'm like, damn, man, look at this dude. He's ripped. He brings he brought 2 of his sons, his 2 youngest, and his youngest one at the time was probably only 10, 11 years old. He was really small at the time. Bryant shows up, and he's just super humble, wants to know what he can do to help. He's just not, and I thought being completely honest, I thought he'd come a little cocky because he's older. He's been in the game a lot longer than any of us have. Super humble. And he wanted to know what he could do to help out. So he starts, Bryant's thing, I was the push-ups. Bryant's thing is the core. His ab workouts are what he's known for. And if you guys have him on social media, that's what he does. So he brings out a few mats and a few things, and he sets up a core station. These guys are throwing up, and they're just like, what the hell do you bring this guy here for? At the end, though, they're like, man, this is awesome. We've never trained this hard, not in a gym anywhere. So Bryant kind of becomes a proponent of the camp from that point. And at the end, me and him, after every camp session we've had, because Bryant's came to cut quite a few, we talk, and he kind of just, we feed off each other in terms of, he keeps saying, I show up because I love what you guys are doing. I don't want money to show up and help. I'm supporting because I love the vision and I love the selflessness of what you guys are doing. It ain't about money. It's about giving back to the community and helping out. So from that point on, Bryant becomes a proponent of camp. And as we get into talking about the kid portion, I'll get into more about what Bryant meant to the program. But after that, the camp gets into late July, August. And what happens July and August? It gets super hot. Guys get worn out from summer, and school's almost coming back. Guys are going away to college, and I think guys are getting worn out because this is 2-3 months of calisthenic training, which is, calisthenics are good for your body. Longevity, I think they're great for you, but you're getting worn out because you've never trained this hard before.
And you do that every day?
Yes, I would. Well, what we were doing at the time, we did 4 sessions a week, and I was working full time doing all this. So my days off, we would do it from, I think, 12 to 1:30, and then Saturday I would do it from 3 to 4:30. And I work a morning job, early morning, so we would get off and do this.
Oh, so when you got off work, you would do it?
Yeah, yeah. And back then I wasn't working nearly as much as I do now, but it was still tiring. I mean, it's like you got bills and you got a job you don't really want to be doing at all that you have to do. So it was definitely challenging in that regard, but it was worth it. I seen the results, and I didn't really understand at that time, though, it was deeper than just working out. I just looked at it more as a place for guys to come hang out and train their asses off and get results. This is before kids, obviously. And I seen the results these guys had within the 2 months, and they got ripped. They lost weight because you're out in the sun training. You're going to lose a lot of body fat doing that. Chest got bigger, abs were showing, they had veins coming out of their arms. I'm like, damn. Because I never really got in the personal training game. I was more just, I did my thing, and if guys wanted to, watch with the push-ups and all the stuff I did, I'd be happy to help. I never wanted to be a personal trainer, be in the gym and do any of that. That wasn't my thing. So the summer goes on, and our numbers are dying. We're barely getting anyone out there. I do honor a commitment. If I say I'm going to do this through this time, I'm doing it, and we're not quitting it. I honor that commitment. And even if that means us getting 1, 2, 3 guys, we're going out there. I don't care if it's 90 degrees. I don't make excuses.
You got to be there for them 2 or 3 guys.
To me, it's an honor that they're coming to me.
Of course.
I'm going to be there for them. I'm not going to stand them up. That's bullshit. You don't do that. So towards the end, I'm the only one out there training, because this is before JP was really in the picture of the camp. He was a guest volunteer. He wasn't running with me. So I'm going out, and a good friend of mine, he's a special needs guy. He's autistic, a highly functioning. He was the only one coming out, and I was teaching him how to work out. He's a great dude. I was teaching him how to work out from scratch. So it's just me and him for an hour and a half out there. And at this point, it's just like the whole camp thing's kind of like, it came and went, and I feel like it served its purpose, and now I'm kind of just helping guys out one by one, which I was cool with. But the whole vision of this becoming something more kind of just, it's gone. Because it just feels like it served its purpose for the time being. We're on the verge of things opening back up, and this is just going to become forgotten again. So is that how is that how the transition with the kids started coming in? Not exactly.
No?
So the kid thing was more of a random thing, and I'm about to get to that point. So we finished up camp for that August, and I look back on it, I'm just really happy that I pretty much took an idea I had just randomly and turned it into something. Wasn't huge, nobody gave a shit, but it was cool. It was fulfilling to me to give back. I'm big on community, I'm big on brotherhood, like I said, I'm still a football player at heart. That locker room is something I like to replicate where, you know, with being in a gym, being on a team, doing those things. And I felt like we had that. So at that time, that was enough for me.
Yeah.
So that we're in August right now. We're now going towards next spring. So April, May, we plan on opening up camp again for May, but we're like this time, since we already got our name out just a little bit and we already know how to do this, I tell JP, I tell him straight up, I'm like, I got to ask you something, man. You're as big into fitness as I am. You've been my brother since I was a kid. And this dude, I'll give you a little background on him. He is one of the best athletes to ever come out of our city.
Okay.
Football, basketball, baseball, freak of nature. And he was a 4.0 student. And the best thing about Jake, he never was arrogant. And a lot of the best athletes you're around when you're that age, they want to fit a narrative of, I don't even know what the word I'm trying to say. They want to look a certain way, the popularity and only the varsity jackets. This dude was so humble where he would talk to the guys on the team. He would make guys feel special who never would touch a field, that guys would make fun of. This dude never was like that. He's just a real,
like
genuine
a humble
dude.
person.
Yeah, and those are the type of dudes you want to go into this with because you know their intentions are right and you know they're selfless. Because I've known that dude my whole life. He'd take his shirt off your back for you. He'd fight for you, whatever it may be.
And he was already there helping you the whole time anyways, right?
Just a little bit.
Was he?
He was kind of when he could show up because he was working a morning job. He was working an afternoon job. So he would show up when he could. But at that time, that first year, it was me. It was just DG training. We were originally DG Training Camp, and then we transitioned to DGJP Training Camp. So we're in that springtime, and I'm in his basement. I'm like, because we're talking, and I'm like, listen, bro, this shit could get huge because he's more balanced. Where I'm a push-up machine, he's balanced where he's good at everything. He didn't have one thing he was like super crazy at, but he was really good at everything. Legs, pull-ups, push-ups, core, agility. And he has a sport background of a lot of guys in the community knew who he was. So I'm like, listen, man, if we combine, we could get this shit huge and take it to another dimension. And then we'll get guest volunteers. We also had his little brother who had a weight loss transformation similar to yours, which was crazy. And he got chiseled with abs and super disciplined with his dieting and training and everything. So we're planning for that year. And there's this community Facebook page called Downriver and Friends. Where we live, it's called Downriver. It's down the river of Detroit going south down I-75. It's called Downriver, all the communities. There's this Facebook page with 200,000 members on it.
Man.
We discovered that. And we're like, this may be the place to promote. Because you can only promote so much on your regular feed with how many people are going to see it. You know, everybody wants to show love, but how many people are actually sharing your shit and are going to show up? You know,
not only that, but Facebook sometimes doesn't even show that to most people.
Yeah.
But on those groups, it shows it to all the people in that group.
And it takes one post to blow up. So we're promoting the adults, and we're about to get into how the kid thing started, which is a blessing, I should say. So we're promoting the adult thing, and we're like, this is going to be huge. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We get free shirts made out, and we have all our core values on it. It was faith, respect, discipline, character, hard work, brotherhood. We get a shirt. It's just a white T-shirt, not like the one we have right there, those dry fit ones. We're like, we're going to give those out for free, and we're going to create this giant community training thing. But at that time, gyms were back open. So we're kind of like, we're not going to, guys want to work out on their own. And not many guys, to be honest with you, want to train like an animal. We trained hard as fuck out there, man. Excuse the language. But that's how we trained. And we were kind of skeptical, but we're like, you know what? We're going all in. We're going to see what we get. And a lot of people on social media are talking like, we're coming. We planned this giant opening day and now what we call it's our opening day, like how in baseball they have opening days, where we're going to make it like a party, man. We're going to get balloons at the gate, at the entrance. We're going to have sign-up sheets, free water, body armor, free shirts. We're going to have guest trainers out, and we did have Bryant. We had a few other guys, me, Jake, Josh. So we plan our adult opening day, and then I put it on that Downriver Friends Facebook page like I told you. And everybody's commenting, a bunch of people, and someone's like, would you ever consider training kids? So I'm sitting back, I'm like, nah, we want to train like beasts, like we're in a prison cell. That's how we want to train. My girlfriend's like, you know, the market may actually be kids and not adults. And I'm still skeptical. I'm like, I have no experience with kids at all. I'm good with kids. I'm patient. I like kids a lot. But I'm like,
You just never worked with them.
And I don't know how that's going to go because with kids comes the parent. You don't know, man.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit that comes with it, but we're
you
still,
can't really yell at them the way.
Yeah, and I'm an intense dude, man. I'm a really laid back dude, but.
Yeah.
I'm not an excuse, dude. We're doing something. We're 110% balls to the wall. We are going to grind our asses off.
Yeah.
And adults, man, I'm like, kids, I can't push that way.
Yeah.
I want to train guys how I've trained, how Bryant, how Jake, how these big time dudes train, man. Like the guys I look up to.
Yeah.
So we're talking. I'm like, should we just do a kid set, a one day before our adult one, we'll do an hour and a half for kids. Just see what it is, just kind of get our feet wet and explore.
Yeah.
So everybody's commenting, do kids. Like we just got ourselves back to do all we got to train kids. I didn't want to.
Yeah.
I want to train adults. No one else, Jake didn't either. But we're like, you know what? We're going to give it a try. So May 15th, 2021 comes around. We run our kids session. We have a bunch of people volunteering at this front gate where people would come in, and we had a sign-in sheet. We're seeing parent come in the parking lot, another car. We see all these kids getting out of the car together, and they're all wearing the same baseball hats like they're coming from teams and stuff.
Yeah.
We're like, wait, is this actually going to be something? We get 33 kids on our first day training kids, like a class, like a legit camp. So we're kind of easing into it, and about halfway through, I look at Jake. I'm like, bro, this is pretty fun, man. This is really fun. Because, and I'll get into how it's deeper training kids and more just working out a little bit later. But these kids we see are laughing. They're outside, which many kids these days are not how me and you grew up.
Yeah.
We grew up outside, with sports all day.
I know.
These kids,
they don't do that.
Video games, Fortnite, and I ain't hating. If that's what you want to do it. But they didn't grow up the way we grew up.
No.
We're a little different. And I'm only 26, and I'm saying this, man.
Shit. Yeah, I'm 43, so.
And you know how we grew up.
Yeah.
Every minute of the day, man. My mom summer vacation was 8 a.m., sun comes up, I'm outside, I'm coming back when the street lights go off. We're playing sports all day with the kids in the neighborhood.
That's awesome.
That's all we did. So I'm like...
I did that too when I was a kid, but I didn't think 26-year-olds still, you know what I mean?
I'm a kid at heart, man. I still want to play sports. I didn't
know, there's a point where it stopped, though. I don't know what the age is.
Yeah.
But there's a point, like, I don't know if it's 20-year-olds or something, that they started living more inside instead of outside.
I think it was...
After you, I guess.
Yeah, and because my friends and we still will go out. We'll shoot the basketball around. We'll throw the football. We're not old, but we're past all that shit. But I'm like, I still enjoy it. These kids these days just grew up different. Electronics, they get cell phones earlier. They get the iPads, the tablets, the Xbox, the PlayStation. They got it way earlier than we did. And a lot of it is because their attention spans are so short. Their parents are just saying, here, go occupy yourself so we can get 10 minutes of rest. You know? Yeah. So I'm seeing this unfold in front of us. These kids are busting their ass and they're asking questions, super studious, and they're all really well-behaved kids. No
Do they
problem.
know each other? Like, are they like friends?
A lot of them came together because they're on the same teams.
Baseball teams.
Yeah, not all of them knew each other, but quite a few did.
Okay, cool.
And the friends were all in groups together. So I'm seeing all this, and I'm just like, I'm telling Jake, I'm like, we may be onto something here. We may have to do this again. I know we're full-blown adult session, but this may be the future of the camp. So we have a great first day with kids. Outstanding, super fulfilling, rewarding. And if you guys want to check my Facebook out after, I'll give this after to see all the pictures. We, throughout that summer, 120 kids. 120 kids out of nowhere. I'm like, we weren't even expecting to do this.
Yeah.
So after that...
Wait, hold on. You guys had another one and more kids came?
We decided to keep doing every Sunday up until we got out of school. Then we did Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday for the kids for free. Okay. So we were giving up, man. And I'm not a guy who looks for a pat on the back or, look at me for doing good things. I'm just being completely transparent here.
Yeah. I'm
a busy guy, working 2 jobs. I was giving up a lot of my time to be out there with those kids.
Yeah.
And it was 1,000% worth it. And I would do it for free again.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about the money. That's not why you get into this stuff.
Yeah.
So after the kids session, the opening day, we do adults. And we get 45 adults. And I'm like,
damn,
this is crazy. Today, I'm losing my voice screaming. I'm so intense. And I had a cold too. Like I went into it, my voice already gone. I'm just like, this is incredible. I'm like, all these guys, everyone here is emptying out everything they have because the culture there, I compare it to like a football team. It's a culture where guys are going to give everything they have and buy in.
Okay.
Every guy's maxing out on push-ups. Every guy's maxing out on pull-ups. Guys are throwing up in the woods. I love it. Because I'm like, this shit's hardcore, man. Nobody's doing it like this around here. So we have a great opening day. 75 people, and we give out all the shirts. It blows up on social media, and everyone's like, damn, this is crazy. We go a week from then. We do another Sunday. We're going to do kids and adults again. We get, I think, 30 kids again, and the adult number starts to drop down a little. Okay. Because I think the opening day, we hyped it up so much, and I'll get into the social media antics we did. The adult one, though, 20 guys, and it was still awesome. It was great. Another Sunday goes by, 30 kids, 10 adults. Another Sunday goes by, 90 degrees outside, 2 adults, 20 kids. So I talked to Jake. I'm like, you know what? We're getting into the core of summer. Do you want to just go full blown with kids and just put the adult in? I think kids are going to be the market. If we ever decide to get into a business, it's fulfilling. You can touch kids in a way that you cannot touch adults in terms of life lessons. I'm big on trying to teach the kids things in terms of school, sports, life, what to expect. And I'm going to use working out as a way to channel it to them. I tell kids, stand up to shake someone's hand, make eye contact, don't talk back to a coach, be the hardest worker in the room, don't show up late, all those things. Those little lessons. So we run throughout the summer, and like I said, we had over 100 kids. We have this core of kids that showed up every single time, which was, we were averaging 25 to 30 kids a day, which I sometimes had to look around and I'm like, holy shit, we really just pulled this off out of our ass, literally. Like, we didn't plan for this. This one day comes around, and this is the day I knew it was legit with the kids. It's raining, there's mosquitoes out, it's all swampy. We get 35 kids show up. And it's a boys and girls camp, but it's all boys. These dudes all take their shirts off, and we're ready. We're ready. So we're like, you know what, man? This is it right here, man. I love this. These guys are busting their ass. They're all excited. And the best part about the camp, man, it's not just athletes. It's kids from every walk. It's kids who never worked out. It's star football players, baseball players. It's kids who may be struggling at home, may have a lot at home. You're getting all different types of kids together for the common cause of improving, learning, getting ready for sports, building confidence, making friends, all this stuff.
It's making me want to do a camp like that, I swear.
You and Bryant, man, or do it around here. Somebody in Toledo's got to do this thing, man. That's another thing. I was hoping it inspires somebody else to do this. I don't need any competition where I'm at downriver, but somewhere Toledo, you guys got a lot of people around here, man. A lot of people.
Sweet. The only thing that my camp would have to be early in the morning.
Hey, parents will get their kids out there, man.
I don't know. Oh, well, keep going.
So
Sorry for interrupting you.
No, man,
but you're inspiring me. Like, man, I need to do something like this.
See, when I start talking about this camp stuff, I get genuinely like happy talking about this. Like, I keep going because there's so much depth into what we've done and like where we started from. So we have a great year with the kids. I mean, absolutely phenomenal. Blew out our expectations. We are now getting recognition from the city, which was humbling, awesome. Didn't think it was going to happen. We get a News Herald article right around 4th of July and the Detroit Free Press. And they interviewed Jake and I, and they gave us a few paragraphs, share pictures. It's blowing up on social media, and I'm like, wow, this is just crazy. I'm a simple dude. I don't expect shit, man. I didn't think this was going to happen. So it's blowing up, and we just keep going. Another day. We're just stacking. These kids now, because we had a core group of kids that year that were just super driven. They were all getting ready for a sport, or they just really liked working out. These kids would show up and try and outdo each other, but in the process, they wanted the other person to outdo each other. I'm like, that's a culture. Every guy here is maximizing their ability physically and mentally. On that push-up bar, these guys are doing 13-minute planks on the holding themselves up. And I'm talking full asses down, back flat, planking on a push-up bar. One kid did it for 13 minutes. Another did it for 8. And I'm watching all this. I'm like, you guys couldn't even do 5 push-ups when you came in here. A month later, you're busting out 30 push-ups in a row doing planks. And you guys got veins coming out of your arms. And I would tell them, if I see you working, I'm going to let you know. I'm very transparent with the kids. If I see you half-assing, I'm going to let you know. It ain't acceptable. That's my rule. We had a few rules with the camp. You're respectful to everyone there. You don't make fun of anyone. I don't give a shit what level you are. You're all an equal here. No one's getting special treatment. The other rule is you're 110%. You don't quit anything.
Yeah.
You fall, you get back up, you finish it. These are life lessons as you take to build fortitude, grit, discipline, which I'm huge on individually and what we try and get with our program. So,
was there any kid, like individual kid, that got a really big transformation?
Yes. I mean, these kids looked about 15 pounds bigger, muscle-wise. We had another kid, and I'm going to kind of highlight this kid because I don't say I have favorites, but I have kids who kind of touch me in a different way in terms of I had a soft spot for him, and we had this one kid show up. He was a 10-year-old named Gabe. He came, him and his family moved up here from Alabama. His grandma worked for the city of Woodhaven, and he's a kid who was just like me as a kid. Outdoors, nonstop, sports, working out. I wasn't a workout kid, but he was riding his bike. He was an outdoor kid.
Okay.
Kid had a buzz cut, wore chains. I'm like, this kid
from down south.
Yeah, I'm like, this kid, man, he ain't like the kids up here. He don't know. He's different. He's cut from a different cloth. His very first day here, his mom isn't on the Facebook page, and that's how I relayed all the information. They don't know that the camp got canceled for the day because it rained. They still show up anyways. And my crazy ass, and I'll get to this a little later, I would still go outside and train in the rain, snow. I was on some David Goggins shit, man. That was one of the dudes who inspired me.
Yeah, I like David Goggins.
Man, that dude. But this kid shows up, and I see the look on his face and his mom. They look disappointed, like he was really eager to try it.
Because you were there working out in the rain?
I was there, and I seen him and his mom standing there, so I went up to him like, you guys didn't hear it was canceled? They're like, no. So for a brief second, I'm like, I'm not about to send him home. This kid does not care that it's raining. The mom don't care. She's an umbrella. She don't give a shit. Say, hey, you want to go work out? Just me and you. And at that time, that's when I was like the push-up dude. I was the dude everyone in the community knew for doing that shit humbly. I brought him over to the bar. It's pouring rain. I'm like, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do a 30-minute push-up workout, and I'm going to train your ass like you've never been trained before. You're 10. I know you're only 10. You're about to bust your ass, and you're about to exceed every limit you have. And I told him that. This kid's like keeping pace with me, and I'm like, man, can I get a break for a second? Like, you're kicking my ass. This kid was incredible, man. He's doing push-ups. He's army crawling 100 yards out, doing all this. And I'm just thinking, like, this was the moment I knew it's bigger than just working out. Because I'm not a big time, I'm a normal dude. But I think me taking that time, that 30 minutes to get to spend time with him alone and work out with him, that kid's going to remember that for the rest of his life. And I will too. Because that shit's special. You think if you're a kid and someone that you may have looked up to or respected took time to do something with you, you're going to remember that shit.
Yeah.
You know, it inspires you.
And that's why when I asked you that story, that's a good, that boom, it just like it hit you right away because, but imagine him. He's probably going to tell that story to one of his kids one day.
Yeah.
Because that story is even bigger for him than it is for you.
Yeah.
And, it's like a huge story for him.
The kid, and it was just to me, I'm like, the kid doesn't know anyone here. He just moved up. I'm taking the time to do this. I don't give a shit. It ain't about me. The whole camp thing is about the kids. And another thing, it was, can I get JP a job training? Can I get Bryant, further along? Can I give them the whatever it may be to find different obstacles for them to make money doing this? This whole thing was 1,000,000% about getting these kids somewhere they couldn't get themselves. And that's what coaching is.
Yeah.
I had so many great coaches in my life that took the time to do extra things with me and had those honest discussions. I grew up in a hard-nosed Little League football program that the things that were said and done back then would not be allowed in today's society. Yeah. Hardcore discipline, win at all costs, get screamed at by the face mask, old school. And I take a lot of that stuff, and that's not my approach with kids. I don't yell. I don't want to yell. But I take a lot of those things, and a lot of those coaches I had, and I'll shout a few out: Ryan Perry, basketball coach; Ed Phillips; Phil Short. My 3 favorite coaches I ever had. Those 3 guys impacted me on a way that was bigger than the sport. And I think the biggest compliment you can give a person is saying, I don't want to let you down. I didn't do some stupid shit because I wouldn't want to let you down. Yeah. It's the ultimate sign of respect, in my opinion.
That's awesome, man. Is that coaching, how them 3 coaches were big influence to you? Is that why you did it for free in the beginning? What was the reason why you did it for free in the beginning?
Yeah. So the reason I did it for free in the beginning, part of it was I didn't feel like we were ready to be a business.
That shirt. Put on your shirt.
Oh, shit. I didn't feel like we were ready to be a business at the time. But also, I was just kind of thinking, I'm like, we got to get our feet wet and learn what we're doing before we decide to charge anyone.
Okay.
And to me, it was giving back to the community.
Yeah.
That's what it was all about. So we did that. And
So, but even once it got like 30 people, you didn't like, man, I need to start making money, you know?
I'm big on, if I tell everyone it's free for the summer, it's free for the summer.
okay.
I'm not going to start charging. We did charge last year, or the summer that just passed, and I'll get into that. But that year we did it for free with the kids was the best. It was so rewarding. We built relationships with those kids and their parents that I still keep, and a lot of those kids we don't have now because they're older, they're on to high school. I still keep in touch with a lot of those kids. And what was awesome about all that, camp would pass and they would text me, because we had them all, they followed me on social media. Hey, I benched this today. Hey, I got moved up to JV for football.
Okay.
Hey, I did this. I ran this in track. And that's sweet because they have a respect for me, and they knew I was like a good coach to them, that they want to make me proud. And I was always like, man, I'm so happy to hear that for you.
And you know, the relationships that you're going to build for the future are amazing.
Oh,
These
yeah.
kids are going to become like men in the future in around here. And one might be a lawyer, one might be this, one might be that. And
We're going to have a few kids go to the league and play D1, man. I got some studs out there, man. I got some flyers.
Oh, man.
So,
You're building some great relationships right now.
It was outstanding. And to touch back on, to get back to that Gabe kid I talked about, that kid, out of all the kids we've had 180 kids through our camp with kids. That kid had the most fortitude, the most grit, and the best outlook that I had. And I had a lot that did. This kid was different. And that was a kid that really and I look at all the kids, they're all special. That was a kid this was worth doing it for free, because this kid needed it more than just for the working out. He needed a place to make friends. I don't know what he had going on at home. I don't know. A lot of these kids, you don't know what they got going on at home.
And
we all
he was
deal with
new
different
to the
shit.
area too.
Yeah. So I'm like, that made it worth being for free. That he got to come, learn the community, make friends, and be around guys like Jake and I, older guys who help him out. And so we finished camp that year, and it's outstanding. And these kids are just, and I'll finish on this with this year. Our last day, I don't know how many people are familiar with bare knuckle, BKFC, bare knuckle fighting. We pulled 2 professional bare knuckle fighters to our last day of camp, which was a huge deal because we're fans. Jake and I are fans of that. Chris Sorrow and Harrison Aiken. And Chris Sorrow lived in Maine, and Harrison Aiken lived in Georgia. I contacted Chris, and he's a beast. I mean, a monster. Contacted him on Instagram, and me and him went back and forth to talk, because he's a trainer too. He trains kids with boxing. We talked, and I'm like, hey, it's going to be our last day of camp. We're going to give the kids pizza, drinks. It's going to be kind of like a celebration. That would be awesome if you, for whatever reason, could come. And he lived in Maine. There's this other fighter in our hometown, kind of close, named Josh Burns, another bare knuckle fighter. Chris Sorrow was training in Detroit at that time with him. And I'm like, we're talking. I'm like, this might just be meant to be, man. This dude shows up on our last day, and he's walking up, and this guy's an animal. Kind of like how that first time we see Bryant. Like, he's a freak of nature. Him and Harrison, extremely humble. They give the kids an hour boxing tour and gave them motivational talks. And those guys started off, they all battle a lot of stuff. Drug addiction, losing people. And they gave the kids talks on how, and this is one thing I picked up from those 2 guys, be a 1%er. Be a dreamer. Be someone who goes against the grain, an outlier. And I picked up on that. And it was for the kids, but I picked up on it. It was awesome. We had pizza after, and we ended the year that year. We finished camp, and a few of the parents messaged me, and we're in August at that point. It's 90 degrees. I'm burnt out. Me and Jake are just like, man, we need a break. We need to get away, take a week off work, just a break. A few of these parents are like, hey, can you keep training our kids for a few more weeks? So we had a few more kids come out. We did 2 extra weeks. I don't want to say it was private, but it wasn't out to the public that we're doing it. I was doing it more just all right, this is what it's going to be. I'm going to go out there and work out. You guys can join me. You're working out with me, though. This isn't camp. You guys are going to do the shit Jake and I are doing, which is hard.
Even tougher than the camp.
And it was that Gabe kid I told you about, and 5 or 6 other kids. And these kids are all now stud athletes. And I follow up with a lot of them. They're in high school now, freshman, sophomore. They were showing up, and that just showed me how these kids are hungry. That was their introduction to working out, was that year with us. These kids were monsters, man. I mean, ripped. And we finished that off. And then Jake and I are like, all right, we're taking a break and we're not getting back to this till spring. We're building up. We're getting ready. And now we're in 2021, fall 2021. We start building up a bunch of hype. I'm like, you know what? We're about to make this the biggest spot for youth fitness in Wayne County, in Metro Detroit. We're hyping everything up.
Social media.
Everything. And this is where I'm going to get into my social media game. I started to become a character on social media. I became the vanilla gorilla.
Okay.
The beard, the tattoos, the push-ups. I started this thing on Snapchat, and it was called Team Vanilla Gorilla. And it pretty much what it meant, it was a mix of humor and hardcore motivation. I would go outside every chance I could get. It didn't matter if it was 90 degrees, 10 degrees, snowing, rain. I was doing push-ups. I was going to be on my knuckles on cement. I was doing hardcore shit. This started blowing up in the community. Like, every high school kid in downriver was coming up to me asking for pictures and stuff. They were doing push-ups. Like, everybody's hitting me up.
That's awesome, man.
It was cool, man. I'm take a sip of water real quick.
So it's almost like, I know that one guy that he took steroids or whatever, that
Liver King.
The Liver King. So I'm not saying you, but he built this character, the Liver King.
I became a character of myself, man.
So you did something sort of like that.
I have fun with it.
Yeah.
In the process, I started some bad habits. I became into just being like the ultimate man's man. Like, I started drinking energy drinks, which I've never done before, and it became part of the humor in all this. And I talk back on all this shit. I think it's stupid now, but I can look back. It got a lot of people working out in the community. I'm drinking 3 Banes or Monsters, whatever you want to call it a day, and I'm slamming them on my head, and I'm dropping down doing push-ups, doing dumb shit, but it's funny, man, and it's motivating guys. I always had this thing, too. I said, drop your nuts. Go outside, build some grit, build some fortitude, get some callus on your knuckles. I'm slamming Banes. I'm doing all this stuff, and I'm just like, man, I'm out of control right now. I didn't
see none of that.
This is before you and I were friends. This is last year, so
I'm gonna have to go back and check all this out.
Look at all the pictures I have of kids sending me Snapchats of them doing push-ups. There's kids on spring break doing them. There's like one kid doing them next to a police car, like just a bunch of goofy shit. But I'm like, I'm just gonna have fun with this. It's all in good intention. I'm enjoying it. It's building up hype for next year's camp, and it's. At this point, I'm like, should we try do adults again, considering the amount of high school? Because adults is high school up. I'm like, we're getting so many high school kids on board with this social media thing. And Jake and I, every day, are just posting these outlandish workout videos. There was one day, it was decided, I'm like, I'm going to try a 24-hour push-up challenge. This is just the most ridiculous shit I've ever done in my life. And I'll get into this. What you do, I went outside, and this was a week before Thanksgiving. Think about a November in Michigan, what it can look like. Same with Ohio. 40 degrees, rain, snow, sleet. You don't know what you're getting. So I go out there to that push-up bar outside at midnight. I got my Under Armour on. I got leggings. I had Rocky shorts on, those red, white, those American shorts. See, I got the Rocky tattoo a few days ago, as you can see here.
That's awesome.
But
Rocky Balboa.
That's one of my fictional role models, man. Inspirations right there. But I do a 24-hour push-up challenge. And what that meant was I'm going to stay outside for 24 hours and do as many push-ups as I can. So every hour, because this is something that needed to be documented on Snapchat or social media. I use Snapchat as my main source at that time. I would post with the Snapchat filter the time. Midnight, me doing push-ups. 1 a.m. push-ups, 2 a.m. push-ups, et cetera, all the way through. I do 9,200 push-ups in a day.
9,000 push-ups in one day.
It was.
You made it all the way though?
Yeah, I was doing them all the way till midnight, and by the time we got to 11, it's about 30 degrees raining. You got all these high school kids showing up to take pictures and record. It was a spectacle. It was like a circus.
And they were putting all over their Snapchat.
This shit is blowing up everywhere. Like, everyone around the area knew about this shit. Like, because it was like, it's unheard of. Like, no one, for one, this dude's outside in the cold, busting out push-ups all day. You don't hear about this shit. It's like the stuff David Goggins does. It's
like a rare thing.
And David Goggins is more, I'm more trying to be funny with it and just enjoy it. But I do the over 9,000. 35 different kids came to get pictures with me, which was hilarious. And they're all, oh, the vanilla gorilla. So we do that, and my push-up background's deep, and it's just it dates back so far back to high school. And the flashback, not to go way back, but this all started my junior year of high school. I don't know if you were in high school, if you remember, if they ever had Army, Marines, or whatever come and try and recruit, like set up stands up.
Yep.
I seen them, and I dared my lunch table, all my boys as a football team. I'm like, I'm gonna go challenge a Marine to a push-up contest. And this is when I just got going. I didn't know how good I was at the time. I go up to the Marine, I shake his hand. I'm like, thank you for your service, sir. Would you be interested in having a push-up contest? This dude's like, no, I can't do that. Because they don't want to take the risk of losing to a kid.
Yeah.
He's a pretty big dude. He's a Marine. I mean, these dudes are top of the line fit.
Yeah.
So I beg him, and I think he's like, you know what? Screw it. We'll do it.
Yeah.
Me and him get on the ground, and we start doing them, and I could see, because I'm looking up, I see shoes, like everyone's feet walking up. We go all the way till we can't go anymore. I did like 130, and he did about like 128.
Dang.
I beat him, but the whole lunchroom is gathered around, 500 kids in the Woodhaven High School, and I hear everybody, let's go, DG, let's go. I finally beat him up. Everybody, man, like got around me, starts picking me up, and I'm like, you know what? That propelled the whole run I had, man. That moment right there, we can all point back to a moment that really started shit out for us.
That's how it all started?
That right there. And before then, how I originally got started, and this is a workout advice I'll give to anyone who may be watching this, when it comes to push-ups, body weight squats, crunches, if you're watching a football game, baseball game, every commercial, 10, 15, 20, it adds up. I started watching baseball games between every batter, 15, 20 push-ups. And one day I walk upstairs, my mom's like, your chest is getting bigger. And I knew at that point the push-ups were going to be my MO. And I'm not as big into them anymore just because I did wear my body out naturally doing probably over 1 million over the years. I did hurt my body, but it was all worth it. I'm now more into weightlifting, and I'm trying to get my numbers in that, and that's fine.
And how did you hurt your body doing push-ups? I don't get it.
So
I thought that was like a good workout.
I overdid it.
Oh, you just did too many, right?
Pretty much what I think happened, I'm right-handed. I'm stronger on my right side. I did so many. I started, my body, your body's naturally stronger on whatever side you're on. I started leaning more to one side than the other from doing so many. It got one side stronger than the other. So now when I do them, I feel a little off balance. It just doesn't feel as natural as it used to.
Oh, okay.
But I still,
That's why it's, I was listening to this thing that said it's important to work out one arm at a time or even one leg at a time for that. So when you do like squats, because sometimes your right leg might be stronger than your left leg.
Absolutely.
So it's good to work out.
And that muscle imbalance creates a lot of issues while you're trying to train.
Okay.
And granted, I could still do them. It's just, it doesn't feel the way it did. And I had my run, man. My run gave me, it eventually led to a camp. It led to training a bunch of kids. All right. Now that we got that part, I got to get back to where the camp was at.
Yeah.
So we're hyping all the social media shit up, and we're planning a ginormous opening day. And this is the year that just passed. We're doing kids, and we're just going to do adults for the day, and we're going to do kids the whole summer. So we're in the Woodhaven paper, we're in the news, everyone in the community is talking. We have meetings with the city, the mayor of the city. The city's like, we want to kind of work with you guys where you guys can make a little bit of money, not much, just make a little money. You guys can pay insurance for using our property, and then we'll tax you at the end. All right. No, it's a step forward to being a business, right? I guess. So we do that. We get into our opening day. We have 50 kids on our open. It was the whole field. We had Bryant there. We had Jake and I and his brother and a few other trainers who were all athletic trainers in the area that we were friends with. The whole field's full. And we're seeing familiar faces. We're seeing new faces. It's another great opening day. So I'm not going to get into how every day went this year. We had a lot of great kids. Towards July, a lot of things changed from the year before. The year before, we had a lot of older kids. I'd say middle school to junior high. This year, we're getting a lot of kids under the age of 10. So the style of how we have to approach this and our demeanor changes. The intensity is lower. The way we train is not so many push-ups or pull-ups. We're going to do more fun stuff, sports drills, cone drills, throwing the football games. And it's more just working out. We play pickup football.
The class got bigger and younger.
I don't even want to know if it got bigger, but
Well,
it got
like
younger.
at least the opening day got
Yeah.
a little bigger and a little younger.
A lot of our older kids graduated and went on to high school.
So you had to switch it up a little.
Our whole approach of our plans completely shifted. And personally, the younger kids are easier to entertain because you don't got to be. You could say that something as simple as running 10 yards, doing 10 jumping jacks, and running back as a relay race.
Yeah,
It's about getting them active, getting them off electronics. So we go out the summer, and it's a lot of younger kids. And being completely truthful, we wanted our target market to be 11, 12, 13, 14, 15-year-olds because those are the kids that have the energy that could train a little bit harder. We enjoyed the younger kids. They did great. Towards the end, though, our numbers start falling. And it was a hot, I don't know, in Michigan last summer it was hot. It was 90 degrees or raining almost every time we try to run it. And we're at this point, we're charging $5 drop-ins per kid. So I guess we're a business at that point. So our numbers start to fall. And towards the end, we one lesson we learned is not to stretch us out as far. Be done after 4th of July. Don't try and get into the hot months where kids don't want to go out there.
Okay.
We're now getting 4 or 5 kids.
So when do you start and when do you finish now? Sorry.
So mid-May is starting point, and beginning of August is end point.
Okay.
So, and then no holidays, obviously no 4th of July, no Mother's Day.
So you're about to start right now, pretty soon, right? Like
Yes, we are actually, not this Sunday, Mother's Day, but next Sunday is our opening day.
So when this actual podcast comes out, that you guys are going to be like, that's the day after.
We'll literally just be in it. Man.
Yeah.
We'll just be in, which is going to be cool for people to watch and see that. And hopefully we get a great turnout. I'm confident we will. I'm excited, man.
That's awesome.
I'm pumped. But towards the end of last year, our numbers got so low. And Jake and I are just like, the kids we have are great, man. And it's, like I said, if you have 40 kids or you have 3, they all took time out of their day, or their parents took time out of their day to come to you, to learn from you. You treat the time the same, and you give those kids max effort. And it was discouraging because we had such high hopes, and it was a good year overall. But it ended so rough number-wise. And again, it's like that first year I told you with adults. It's like you have this envision of a business. That's now kind of, it's looking cloudy at that point. Like, damn, is this thing just going to go away again? So we finish it up, and the numbers are low, but the kids we have are great. They got a lot out of it. Nothing but positive feedback. We haven't had a single issue or complaint in 3 years.
Okay.
Nothing but the most common thing we got from kids is this is the most, and their parents is this is the most non-judgmental place they've ever been, where they don't feel judged, and that to me, or they feel confident. That to me is as great as a compliment as you can get with what we're trying to do.
Oh yeah.
So it's.
So I was gonna ask you. So you think it dwindled down because you guys went a little too long last year, and then maybe that's why the numbers.
I think it was that. I think it was a mix of weather, that, and something that we didn't have to deal with in years past because of things being locked down. There's more programs available to parents and kids. Basketball camp, football camp, different stuff, daycare, whatever. Or not even daycare. Parks and Rec. We're not the only show in town anymore. There's a lot of things. Okay. With all that being said, we had a really good summer. Yeah. The kids we had were awesome. We're going to see a lot of those kids in next week. I'm in touch with all their parents. I kept in touch with a lot of those kids. These kids are coming back. They're ready, man. I ran into one of them a few weeks ago. He's like, I can't wait. 2 weeks. He was counting it down. So we're excited, man.
What age are you marketing for this year, or is it the same?
We're going 7 years old to 15, and that's what we've been at since we started kids.
Okay. So 7 to 14.
15.
Oh, 7 15.
Yep. And if we got a 16-year-old, no big deal. We got a 6-year-old, no big deal. But you don't want it to become a million 6-year-olds. It's hard with 2 or 3 trainers out there to control it, because you are going to have days you get 30 to 50 kids. 2 to 3 trainers dealing with all that, man. You got to be buckled in. You got to have a game plan. It's hard to keep kids' attention. And one thing that we're really looking to improve on is, as successful as the program at Maya's has been, we need to run a tighter ship in terms of kids not fooling around, kids being more engaged. Because like I told you, their attention spans, if they're not going and they're waiting in line, they find a football, they start throwing it. They'll start spraying each other with water bottles, trying to mess with the radio. I'm trying to crack down and it be a tighter ship this year. That's my biggest goal with the program.
Then like what does the parents have to have, like a permission slip for that, or like give you the?
So there's a waiver. They sign a waiver and sign up sheet, and they sign the sign up sheet every time they arrive. It's name, kid's name, phone number, and then you just pay the drop-in. Our opening day is going to be free again.
Okay.
Can't wait for that. And this year we're actually moving locations from the junior high to Civic Park in Woodhaven. Yeah, so it's...
And then, okay, so do the parents have to stay, or they just drop them off and then come back and pick them up?
We encourage them to stay.
To stay.
We encourage it. It's, for one, if there was ever an incident where a kid gets injured or God forbid, anything happens, you have more adult witnesses around. And those are things you got to think about as a business.
Okay.
Two, it's good for parents to see this word of mouth. They tell their friend, send Johnny and Sally. They're running a cool program for the kids.
Yeah.
So word gets around. So I encourage parents for sure.
Are you okay with the parents filming their kids and putting it on their social media?
1000%.
To help you also grow.
I love it.
Yeah.
Love it. And that has happened.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to you. There's no one gets offended. Like, do the other kids, sometimes there's a group of kids and maybe you just want to film one, or is it okay if you film the whole class?
So I filmed the whole class, but if a kid ever came to me and told me,
then
I would make sure, and I would never. I'd respect that if they're honest.
Yeah.
I would never allow anything to go on social media that the kids weren't okay with, or their parents for that matter.
But no one's ever said anything to you about any of that, right?
No.
All right,
no,
cool.
sir.
Because I film at the gym. I film myself at the gym, and I'll put my camera and I'm working out, and sometimes there's some people that won't even walk past me because they'll just stop and wait.
Yeah.
And then when I'm done recording, they'll walk past.
And it makes, because I do the same thing to check my form and stuff, and I'm like, all right, should I hurry this set up? Because you got a guy waiting right here. I'm like, man.
Yeah. But you know what I tell them? I just tell them, hey man, it's okay to walk by.
Yeah.
If you feel comfortable, I don't care if you're in my shot. I don't care.
And you see all these TikToks these days, man, of people getting pissed off when people walking by. I'm like, you're in a public gym. They can walk by. You're not entitled to for them to stop what they're doing.
Nope. And I don't use like a tripod. I use like a little magnet. So I put my phone on all these like metal, like anything metal.
Right.
So it's not like a tripod in people's way and stuff like that. I think because I just think that by the parents sitting there and filming their kids and putting it on their social media, it'll help you grow for next week.
Oh,
or the
absolutely.
Week
and that's happened quite a bit. And we've been shared on Facebook by a lot of parents. I'm friends with I stay in touch with a lot of those parents. They word of mouth, man. It spreads like wildfire, and it's especially social media. You see parents tagging other parents, and then they tag another parent.
Yeah.
It spreads, man. I can't wait. I can't wait. We're next Sunday, 3 p.m. We're rocking and rolling, man. I can't wait.
Okay, so from your training camp, what do you expect the kids to get out of this? What are your ultimate goals for this?
So if we're talking just the physical aspect, I want a kid who's trying to lose weight, and I want him to carry on what he learned from the camp and take it to everyday life. Okay. Camp ain't gonna last forever. It's only a few months. We can't do it every day. I want him to learn the habits and take it home. If a kid wants to get stronger, I want to tell him, hey, all the things you did here, take it home. And that's my big thing. Take the things you did here home. And that's how you grow. We're here to teach you. We don't get you every day. I wish we could get them every day. I wish this could be a full-time business. I work 55 hours. It's just, I only get them once or twice a week right now.
Yeah.
In terms of mentally, man, we could go a million different ways on what I'm trying to accomplish with this. More than anything, and more than what the world needs right now in this country, toughness, callous, grit. I want to see kids push through the limit, because we all put limits on what we think we can do, and we stop once we get to that number in our head. Once you realize you can break that, that's when you start going, man. That's when you really start grinding and achieving what you're trying to get. Once you break through those limits, there's no ceiling on what these kids can accomplish. I always tell them everything. Hold yourself accountable. Everything you guys do in your life, you're in charge of. Don't blame anyone. Don't be a victim. Listen to your parents, listen to your teachers, your coaches. We have your best intention in mind. You guys can go get it. Dream. And the big thing I tell these kids, don't be afraid to dream.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong. Not everyone's going to go to the NFL. Not everyone's going to play in the NBA. Not everyone's going to rap. But guess what? There's no shame in being a hard worker. There's no shame in being a good father, a good husband. There's more to life than just the big time things. There's a lot of pride. And even with me, and I had to learn this, man, there's a lot of pride in going to your job, getting there early every day, and being a stand-up guy. Being someone in the community you can look at. There's always younger kids looking towards you, whether it's your siblings, whether it's neighborhood kids. Set the example. One by one, that's how you make the world a better place.
Man.
You do that with the kids, And more than anything, with the toughness, confidence. If I see a kid come out of his shell, start making friends, start getting that swagger and I seen a lot of those kids at the beginning, they'll stand in the back of the line with their shoulders kind of hunched looking down.
Yeah.
A lot of the kids toward the end, I want to be first. And I'm like, at that point, whole thing was a success. You came out of your shell. You're a lot more confident now than the minute you walked into this program. So it's building character.
Yeah.
It's leading kids towards, I don't want to get too deep into religion or push, towards God, positive things.
Yeah.
And it's not a religious camp. I say that in terms of leading kids towards a positive. There's so much negative shit in the world with young kids that are exposed to. I want them following you in life. A lot of us have been to, I always use an analogy, you're at a stop sign. You either go left or you go right. Make the right turn.
Yeah.
There's so many times, man.
Yeah, hey, I agree with everything you said. I believe I'm trying to teach people to be like a family man. Like I don't push religion.
Yeah.
But I was raised in religion.
Yes, sir.
So I don't go to church every week or none of that stuff. But I push that be a good husband, be faithful boyfriend,
Absolutely.
or whatever you are. Try to be a good father.
Yeah.
Being a loving, caring person. That's the kind of stuff. So I agree with everything you said. That's perfect.
Yeah, and it's molding them. And like I told you before, the coaches I had, the life lessons, I take those things, and we're about to get into my parents here in a minute and the influence they had. I'm taking that with these kids, and I'm putting what I got into me into them, and these kids all have great parents.
Yeah.
But there's things I may have different life experiences their parents don't. Like we all bring different coaches, mentors, teachers.
Absolutely.
We can all instill different things into these kids, positive things. And these kids, man, they're growing up in a world where they could see so much negative shit on their phone. They're way smarter than we were at that age. I didn't know any of the stuff these kids knew until I was in high school.
Yeah.
These kids know 10, 11 years old.
Yeah,
I'm
they
trying
know.
to lead them down the right path to ultimately be a leader and to go help inspire young people and be a productive member of the community down the road.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's simple.
And then the kids that you help, is they all like, are they all kinds of different races and stuff like
yeah.
that?
Yes, sir.
I was wondering because I didn't know if do you live just like in a rich neighborhood or like a poor neighborhood?
Is
it like mid?
You got every race.
Oh, okay.
And I think that's kind of what makes it cool too. Everyone coming together from different backgrounds. You got kids who have it really good at home. A lot of the kids we have don't have fathers. And that's another thing that we're really big on is these kids need a male role model.
Yeah.
God bless moms, and I respect a hell out of single moms, but there's a lot of things that a single mom can't do that a man can do. The male discipline's different.
Absolutely.
It strikes the fear of God in a kid. And I'm not disciplining the kids I have at camp. I'm just saying that adult male figure they can respect and look up to is something they may not have at home. We could be providing that even if it's for 2 hours a week, you know?
Absolutely. Because I remember when I was younger, my mom would be telling me things and I wouldn't even listen. But I always thought, I wonder if my dad was around, my dad was telling me the same thing, maybe I would have listened to him more.
Yeah.
Because like my mom was like just like loving and caring, and she taught me how to be like the loving and caring person.
Right.
But I feels like I needed like that strong man to tell me some real shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so we'll get into my parents and how I was raised.
Yeah. But what's your ultimate goal for this training camp?
So are you talking in terms of my dream or business in terms of
Just like your dream for like this the kid part, you know? Like what is your ultimate to have?
So this may be a pipe dream. Who knows?
But who knows? But let's
I'm
put
a
it out
dreamer.
there.
Like I tell the kids a dream. I got
it out
too.
there. Let's put it out there because you never know what can happen.
A facility, full time. I get to quit my jobs. No disrespect to my job.
No.
I don't want to do it. It doesn't serve me any purpose. It's a paycheck.
It's not your calling.
No, this is.
Yeah.
I think we're really good at this, and I think the kids get a lot out of it. I'm a better person for what those kids instill in me. I think being around those kids, it takes you away. These kids don't know about all the corruptness of the world and the negative shit that we know about. It would be amazing to, let's say we get a facility. We're full-time business doing this full-time. Jake and I get Bryant, his brother. That would be incredible.
Yeah.
That would be a blessing. That's the dream. Now, will it ever happen? I don't know. I got other priorities. I got to invest money. I'm trying to buy a house right now.
Yeah.
It's like down the road, who knows? I'm only 26. I think I'm still relatively young.
You're really young.
A lot of people, and I talk to a lot of business owners, they don't get to where they're getting until their 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
Now, if I got there by then, that'd be cool. But man, if I could get there, like it would just be, this all started from a push-up bar in the park, me doing push-ups, and we took it there. That'd be so crazy, man.
Yeah.
I would love it. That's a dream.
Yeah.
Jake and I talk about it all the time. Like, that would just be incredible.
That's an awesome dream. And the thing is, I like to put things out there because we never know who's listening. Maybe a multi-millionaire might listen to this podcast and be like, you know what? They'll be like, you know what, brother? Quit your job. I want to get this building. I want to help you guys out. We never know. It could always lead.
You never know, man. Life happens in mysterious ways, man.
Yeah.
I always believe in God. God will put you in the right position, meet him halfway, and God will set you up where you need to be. Everything happens for a reason. And if it doesn't turn into that, I can rest my head easy at night knowing we helped close to 200 kids in the community, not for the incentive of money or getting attention. We did this shit just to give back and for a purpose and make an impact.
Yeah.
Not many people go through their life. And I'll get into something about David Goggins real quick. David Goggins was on Joe Rogan, and I don't know how many heard this. He said one time he was running by a graveyard. Can I cuss real quick?
Yeah, you can cuss. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
He said,
this is YouTube. It's very fun.
So he's running by. He's like, I looked and said, how many of those motherfuckers wish they would have done more with their life? How many wish they would have done more? They didn't do shit. They didn't make an impact. That resonated with me on so many levels.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, I got to do this shit.
Yeah.
And I'll say this right now, being honest.
Yeah.
About 2 months ago, I didn't know if we'd even do the camp this year because I'm burnt out. I'm working. I'm tired of shit, man. I wake up, work 12 hours a day, woke up at 3:30, got to go do it again tomorrow, work both jobs. It's tiring, but I'm like, what? So I'm gonna stock beer and deliver food and not do anything impactful. Hell no. I'm not wired like that, man.
No, hell no.
No. Why would I give up on this shit?
No, hell
Why?
no. Don't give up on it. You almost did. You thought about it.
I was thinking, I'm like, should I just take a year off?
No, that's that's a devil trying to get rid of.
And
that.
I'm glad I killed the demon.
Yeah.
I'm glad I killed it. And here we are, man.
Yeah.
We're 9 days out.
Yeah.
We're ready, man.
It's about
Let's go,
to
baby.
happen. Okay, so your childhood, you grew up in Michigan.
Yes, sir.
How did tell me a little bit about your childhood and how did your upbringing shape the person that I'm talking to right now?
I was blessed with, the worst days of my life, or the worst days of my life would be the best for a lot of others. And I say that very gratefully. I didn't have to, I had both parents, great parents, come from higher middle class, never had to struggle with money. My mom is a teacher and my dad's a business owner for a valet company at a bar. My parents did really well. They were big on education. They were big on being hardworking and character. All these things I do to kids, I learned from my parents, essentially.
Okay. Yeah.
My mom's hard-nosed. My mom's biggest thing was, you're going to take action and accountability no matter what the situation is, no matter what happens to you. You're going to find a way. I come home bitching to mom, something happened at school. I didn't do good on this test. I got benched in the football game. She wouldn't let me pout. She's like, and I would get pissed off. I still get pissed off today at 26 because a lot of us don't want to hear the truth. We need to hear it. We don't want to hear it. Very transparent. And we butted heads a lot because she was hard on me. But my mom lost her brother. Her mom struggled with alcoholism, and her dad died a year ago of lung cancer. So she lost a lot of family. So a lot of times when that happens, they're going to be harder on their kids because they want the absolute best for you. They value the relationship and what they can put into you.
Yeah, because all those traumas shaped her.
And she had to go through that, man. My mom's a strong person. She's a great teacher. She's impacted so many kids where she teaches. She gets kids of all backgrounds.
That might be a little bit why
I think it runs in the blood, man. I think it runs in the blood for sure. She said that you were meant to work with kids.
Oh, that's awesome.
So my mom was on my ass. I didn't screw around. I was always a really good kid. And I made my mistakes for sure. I sure as hell did a lot of dumb shit. As a kid, we all did, right?
Yeah.
Nothing crazy, and if my mom found out, phone's gone, car keys are gone, all that shit's gone.
Okay.
She was on my ass. I did not want to fuck up because of the fear of punishment from my mom.
So it wasn't your dad, it was more of your mom.
My dad's laid back, but if I knew I pissed my dad off, I fucked up, and I was in hot water, man. My dad is a really nice, laid back guy. He could whoop somebody's ass if he wanted to, but my dad, man, those days I pissed him off, I knew I was a piece of shit because I'm like, it takes a lot to get him wound up. My mom, on the other hand, just a few comments I could make, smirky comments, was enough to set an argument off. My dad was, if I knew I pissed my dad off, man, I'm like, I did something wrong.
You went too far.
Yeah, and I didn't want to piss my dad off, man, because I knew at the time my dad would whoop my ass, you know?
Yeah, you're like you took it just a little too far, and that's when your dad got actually mad.
Yeah.
So okay. So how did that upbringing with your mom and stuff? How did that shape the man you are today?
Discipline, discipline, and accountability. She was so big on, you're never going to disrespect someone if they're lower than you, or you're going to treat everyone with respect. Okay. And that's another thing Jake and I are big on. In high school, we weren't getting with any, I wasn't getting any play in high school. I was kind of a dork, man. I was an athletic dork, but I looked at every kid in the school. I don't give a shit who you are. I'd be friends with you. She was big on character, treating people right. She's really big on school. And I'm just going to say this, where I'm an open book. I struggled in school because I didn't give a shit, and that's why we clashed. Did you take the ACT or SAT when you're in school? Like, what was your standardized test?
I have no idea.
I got one of the worst scores in my whole class. I got a 15, and the worst you could get was a 14. All my friends were around 20s, and I flunked it, man. And
yeah, me too.
And it was one of those things they told you, this test determines your whole future, what you're going to do for a living. And if you don't, you're going to be homeless, you're going to be living under a bridge, all this shit, which is all bullshit we learn now.
Yeah.
I failed that thing, and my mom is making me retake it. I retake it, get a 16. It is what it is. I didn't give a shit about school, but there was one thing about me with school that translated into the adult world. Between kindergarten to senior year, I missed 4 days of school. 4 days. And those 4 days I missed, I got sick for one. The other 3, I got dragged out in elementary school to go on vacation with my family. I didn't want to go. I was so big, even though I didn't care about what we were learning, get into school every day. Availability. It's one I tell kids.
Accountability.
Availability. Employers look for that shit.
Yeah.
And especially in today's world where kids don't want to work, man. They don't want to work 8 hours. They don't want to show up every day.
Yeah.
Show up on time and be there. I went to school on senior skip day because I didn't want to have a day marked against me, man. I'm like, I'm so big on streaks, man. So that was the thing. She was really big on me on those little things. Where my dad's whole thing was no excuses. Take accountability. You're going to work hard. You're going to earn shit. I don't want to hear the pouting. My parents didn't let me be a victim ever. And that's why I think I'm able to talk to these kids, because I had hard-nosed parents. And by that I don't mean very loving. They weren't military parents. They just didn't let me get away with shit. I was disciplined and held accountable. I got grounded. I lost my phone. They made me work for everything. You know what I'm saying? So I was very blessed in that aspect. And a lot of times as a kid, I hated it, because I'm like, these other guys I know, man, they're getting away with murder. They're outside playing football in the backyard later, where I'm grounded for 2 weeks for getting a C- on a math test in 6th grade. That was my childhood, and I wouldn't take it back. It made me who I am today, man. I mean, you learn as you get older.
Did your mom want you to go to college and all? Did you go to college and all that?
Yeah, and that's where we clashed a lot.
Oh.
I didn't know at that time. I was under the impression, I think a lot of kids that age were told, my generation, I don't know how it was with you, it was go to college or you're going to be homeless. They didn't preach. It wasn't big on trades. I'm right now, I do pretty well. I have an associate's degree. I don't use it though. So I went to school and I didn't know what I was going in for. I'm like, I'm going to do my prerequisites, which are pretty easy. I get through with those in 2 years. I then decide I'm going to get into criminal justice policing. I start doing that. The classes were super easy. And this is about to reach a fallout with my mom, which was probably the worst part of my life, to be honest with you. So I go through the criminal justice classes.
Your mom was really important to you, right?
Yes.
And that fallout was like hard.
Yeah. And I'll explain exactly what happened here. So I get through the criminal justice classes and I do great. I'm supposed to do the police academy. Police academy is a 3-month commitment where you're essentially in the military boot camp for 3 months. I'm going to be honest. I hate to even say this. My whole thing of going to college, it was keeping me from the real world working force. Because a lot of people go to college, they go away to party, they go away. My whole thing was, it's easier. My life's easier having to go to class a few times a week, take these bullshit classes, ace them, I'd go to Livonia because I went to school in Livonia, it's in Michigan. Me and my friends, we would go there, we'd just bullshit, we wouldn't even go to class, we'd just be on campus dicking around, man. Hey man, I'm sorry when my mom's watching this. I'm doing all right now.
Sorry, Mom.
But yeah, man, I mean, I didn't give a shit. I felt like I had to do it, and I didn't know any other way around it.
Yeah.
So I get to the police academy, and I don't want to be doing this shit. I sign up, and I hate to say this too, my parents paid for a majority of college, which was a blessing, and at the time, I didn't take advantage of it. I didn't appreciate it. Maybe it was because I was younger. I'm not thinking much of it. I get to the first day of police academy, and I'm like, I don't want to do this shit at all, man. Like, I wish now, looking back, I would do it. I'm a lot different now than I was at 22 years old.
You look like a police officer.
Yeah, man.
Or
I feel
you could have been one easily.
I feel like, man, I would have been really good at it.
I think
I have the
so,
demeanor
man.
because I can relate to all people from all different walks
You'd be like
of life.
a sergeant right now or something.
Yeah, man.
A detective or something.
Man, looking back in hindsight, it's like, shit, did I make the right decision? I quit. And my whole thing with my parents, if I drop out of school, I'm out of the house. I'm packing my bags and I'm finding a way. So I tell my parents after the first day, this was war all day, all fucking day. I mean, this is war. I told them, I'm like, I don't want to do it. There's just nothing you can do. We're screaming at each other. And my dad's just so disappointed, man. The look on his face. It's like, you wasted 4 years to get to this point and just back out. Like, I never wanted to do this. I felt trapped. I take 1,000% accountability. Don't blame anyone. This was my fuck up. No one else's.
Of course.
So my mom and I are going at it, and she's like, you're out of the house. You're out of the house. You're done with school. You're out of the house. Pack up my bags. Luckily, I have money saved up in the bank, which a lot of people, they get out. They don't have money in the bank. I had $15,000 in the bank.
Damn. Okay.
Which was good, man.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Enough to go get an apartment.
Well, you're like 18 or something? 20?
22.
Oh, okay.
I'm almost 27 now.
22.
So this isn't that long ago, but it is long
yeah.
ago because a lot of things have happened in that time span.
Yeah, it's a good start to like just getting out of, college or whatever.
Yeah.
And have some money to do
And it was all from working throughout the years. And for my graduation party, I had a lot of money I just put in the bank.
Yeah.
So just shit like that.
Yeah.
But me and my mom go to war, and things are said that we look back on wouldn't say now.
Of course.
Bridges are burnt. Just shit you say in the heat of the moment. You know, arguing with the loved one. You don't mean what you're saying, but you're in the moment. So she kicks me out, and we're at war. And luckily, JP, his family's super generous. They're like, hey, come live with us till you get an apartment. Thank God for his family and my girlfriend. They pretty much helped me and coddled me through the first few weeks of being kicked out. I'm a broken man at this point. I'm like, I don't know what this is going to lead to. And my parents, I feel like a fuck up. I feel like a bum. So luckily, she helps me. I didn't have enough credit to get an apartment. We used her name to get the apartment because she had enough. She wasn't living in there with me at the time. She was only
your girlfriend at the time?
Currently. So we're 4 years in now. So we were only at that time 6-7 months in.
Okay,
and
cool.
we picked up steam really quick in the relationship.
Yeah.
Hanging out every day.
Still together to this day?
Yes, sir.
That's awesome.
Yes, sir. So she helps me out, and Jake helps me out. Within the first day, I got to go figure out adult life. I got to go get a new car because my car was done. I have to go get a new car, get insurance, get an apartment, do this, do that.
Yeah.
They're helping me out, but I feel accomplished. So we get an apartment, I move in. I don't have a job though, because the whole plan was for me to go to the academy and then go be a cop. I'm sitting in this apartment just being a complete dick, just to everyone, just pissed off, feel like a bum.
Yeah.
I don't think I was depressed. I never in my life had been depressed.
You just weren't happy with yourself.
Felt like a bum. We've all been there, man. Felt low.
Yeah. That almost feels like depression when you're not happy, but it might not be depression.
Yeah.
You're just not happy with yourself.
It was just because to me, it's like I can break out of this once I get to where I need to be. So I'm in a month in the apartment, and guess what happens? Push-ups. I started doing push-ups every day in the apartment. I'm feeling a little bit better, man. I'm getting my...
So you went back, you remembered.
My roots. My roots, man. So I just started doing thousands in the apartment. I'm bored as shit. I'm waiting on a job, doing all these interviews. Finally get a job in the beer industry. And I'm not going to get into my job because it's not what this is about. Get a job. It's low paying, but it's a job. I need a job. I took it. Within 2 weeks after, COVID hits. The world gets turned upside down. All this shit happens. Wow. But in the meantime, man, I'm making messes with my parents again, slowly but surely.
Okay, cool.
I would go back over there on Sundays to watch football with my dad. That's our big thing. We watch football on Sundays.
That's awesome.
That's, to me, one of the best father-son things you can do, sports. Brings us together.
Yeah, what's your favorite football team?
Baltimore Ravens.
I'm a Steelers
I got to
fan.
walk out. No, man.
We're big rivals. It's all right, though.
My dad's a diehard Lion fan since we're from Detroit, man. But he, every Sunday, that's what we do. We'd watch football.
So you guys get start building their relationship back up.
And my dad wasn't as mad as my mom because my mom's dream was college. Like, my dad was more go work full-time, make money, be a hard worker.
Well, your mom's a teacher.
My mom's a teacher. Exactly. So she pushed me towards the education route. And I completely understand that. So we make messes. I'm good with my mom. But every once in a while, we'd argue.
You and your mom were getting better, too.
Cordial.
A little bit better.
Every once in a while, though, I'd piss her off and she'd bring up, you screwed us. And now I'm like, oh, man, I'm going to hear that for a while. I don't hear it now, luckily, because I proved I'm like, I can be all right without it. Looking back, I regret the whole fucking situation all the way from the beginning, back at the beginning of college. I shouldn't have went. And if I got to that point, I should have followed through. It was weak-minded of me to not do it, man, because I didn't want to. I don't know what it wasn't. I don't know if it was anxiety. I don't know if it wasn't because I didn't want to. I'm pissed off looking back on that. And I think that was a turning point in my life at that moment where I had to drop my nuts, man. I'm like, it's time to be an adult. Go work. You're going to hate the job you're doing. But guess what this all led to? The camp. Doors open up. I do believe everything happens for a reason. God did open new doors up for me. And here we are present day today. You know?
Yeah, you never know. You could be working a corporate job in some damn office somewhere doing some bullshit that you never even loved.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't even know that you had this whole other side of you training kids. So God let you this way because he probably knows there's a purpose for you. The purpose for you is not to go to college and become this corporate America person.
It's not who I am, man.
The purpose for you is to work with kids and help them grow.
Yeah.
And God probably knew that. So God was probably somehow, some way steering you in a certain way.
God is good. God does good things for good people. I like to think I'm a good person. I've stayed clean my whole life, man, in terms of I've always tried to stay on the path less followed and make that right turn at the stop sign like we talked about. So I'm incredibly thankful and grateful that for those opportunities. And you learn from your failures. You learn. And looking back, like I said, I regret the whole thing. And but it's one of those things, man. I talked to a wise man. Recently I talked to a guy. He's a wise, successful man with money. He said, take the rear view mirror out of your car and never look back again. I'm never looking back again. I'm only looking forward.
Yeah.
You learn, you live and learn. It's life.
So,
we all have fuck ups.
Yeah, for sure. So growing up, were you ever in any little gangs? Were you ever in any, like, your parents were great role models.
Yes.
Were you ever in any cliques, gangs? Were you ever involved with drugs or alcohol or any of that kind of stuff?
So in a lot of people's eyes, I'm the lamest person in the world, man. And a lot of people don't believe this. I've never had a sip of alcohol, smoked weed, did a drug once. Not once.
For real?
And nobody believes it.
You look like the ultimate frat college kid. I swear to God. Even right now, 26 years old. I would never.
And that's what throws people off, man.
I swear I would never believe that unless. But I know you. I know you now. You told me.
Here's the crazy thing, though. I was around it. We're all and everyone smokes. Everyone drinks. I don't. And I'll say this, so there's no one who gets this. I don't judge at all. I get it's a common thing. It's not for me. It's not what I wanted to do. And the simple reason I've never done it, and I don't pass any judgment on anyone saying this. Why the hell would I do something I don't want to do just to fit in? I don't give a shit about fitting in. People gravitate towards leaders. I believe that, and I do feel like me never caving into those things. Why would I want to? I never felt the need to do it. I never felt stressed enough. I never felt like I needed it. My life was fine without it, so I never got into that life. And it's nothing wrong if that's what you want to do. I don't feel like I get to the physical level I got to, or be able to work with kids if I was in that life. Someone like Bryant, it's incredible. 7 years completely clean, so he could tell a story how he turned. Then you got someone like me who never has. So I mean, it's inspiring. His shit is just.
That's amazing.
And I know you and him had come from similar roads, man. It's
So okay, but you never so you never did drugs, you never smoked cigarettes, none of that,
nothing.
Right? So, but you never was like in a little clique or like a little gang or like the little homies in the neighborhood where you looked at them guys like them guys are your enemy or anything.
We grew up in a really nice area, man. Like we weren't around any of that shit. I was lucky. All the kids I was close by were really good kids with good parents like myself with similar upbringings. All the guys I hung out with were athletes. They had their mind set towards college, college football, baseball, basketball. I try to surround myself with those guys. I did have my fuck ups for sure. And there's a lot of shit I regret, man. I mean, I was at a time between 21 and 22, I would go out to the bar with friends. I didn't drink, but I would go out for the entertainment, the comedy. And you got to think, being the only sober person when you're young with all drunk people, it's hilarious. It's hilarious. Now I don't really find it funny. It's just kind of, it's stupid. I don't want to be here. I work at 5 a.m. I don't want to get me the fuck out of here. But at the time, man, it was funny. And like I said, I don't judge that shit. It's just not me. And I try to stay away from a lot of negative forces, man. But like I said, in the process, I did have my fuck ups along the line.
And then that's how it created you. Like you're the person you are is from, it molded you. So like your mom and your dad being such a good role model.
Yes.
Of course you're not going to do that because it's almost like you're scared to let them down.
Yeah.
And that's going to trickle down for the people, like all the kids you're training.
Absolutely.
They're going to see who you are.
You're held to a higher standard when you're working with kids, and there's no other way around that. If you still want to go do dumb shit, you're in the wrong profession working with kids. You got to set the example, because if they see you do it, they're going to do it. What the hell kind of leader are you if you're fucking up and then they see it? They're going to do the same thing.
Yeah.
These kids need male guidance now more than ever.
Of course. Here in Toledo, we need it. I'm trying to do something different with this podcast. I've reached out to a few younger guys to have them on here, football players.
Right.
I've had a couple football players on, and I got another football player from Way High School that's going to come on. B. Hayes. You told me a little bit about how you met him.
Yes.
He's a really good dude. He's
Yes.
actually doing that around here. He's training a bunch of
BDA,
kids.
baby, BDA.
Yeah, about that action.
Yep.
So tell me a little bit about what he does at your camp and all that, like when he goes.
So, like I told you, Bryant with the core stuff, the abs,
Okay.
next level elite. What Bryant brings to the table with the camp, though, is more than the working out. This dude he looks the part for one. You got to look the part. He's older. He's an adult. A lot of parents who come, they see the adult, and I'm 26. I'm still relatively young, but I am an adult. He's a dad. He's got 3 kids he brings with him.
Okay.
What makes Bryant so valuable to the camp and as a person, Bryant, no matter the kid's level of athleticism or he's just a bigger kid trying to lose weight, same compassion and same patience with every single kid.
Yeah.
And Bryant is the most uplifting, positive. Like when you're talking to this guy, man, he's the perfect guy to work with kids because he inspires everyone around. And he's got that story of overcoming his hardships.
Yeah,
and he's such a great dude and great dad. I'm like, the kids see that shit. He's a real dude.
Yeah.
Real dude.
And then your relationship with him, how did that start? You exactly?
He seen my
remind me?
stuff on Facebook the first year with adult camp, and he just showed up.
Yeah.
And then me and him ever since kept in touch, and I'm hoping he's coming next Sunday.
Yeah.
He said, you don't even got to tell me, I'm coming. Like he
Okay.
loves it because this gave him also the experience to work with kids. And Bryant is now coaching at Whitmer High School here in Toledo.
yeah.
I got a call from his varsity head coach because he used me as a reference. I said, this guy's a home run. I said, this guy's going to get guys running through walls. Like this dude, the energy and charisma he brings to your program is unmatched in the work ethic. Home run.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's man. That's awesome. I want to help. I want to help out. I don't even know like what I could do there, but I don't know if I can come to the first one but like maybe one of those I could go there and just go watch or do something.
Come on, man.
I know how to work out.
45-minute drive north.
Yeah.
You have the journey. You told me what, 66 pounds.
Yeah. I've been working out, but like I've been trying to do it like you said, go to the gym and I do like my pull day, my push day,
Right.
my leg day, because I felt like my arms. I had a lot of fat, but I still had some muscle because I have worked out in my life,
Yeah.
But I would do like 3 months and then quit, and then 3 months and then quit. But now I've been doing it for a whole year straight, 5 days a week.
Yeah.
So I got a little bit more strength, and I don't know how many push-ups I can do, but I think I can do about 40. I think I did 41 the other day.
So if you're at my camp, you're gonna do 61. That's how it goes, man. Because you're gonna level yourself up just being there. The culture.
Yeah.
And you're a dude, and I seen your transformation picture from this Easter to last Easter.
Yeah.
Like holy shit, that's inspiring for a kid to see that. Hey, I could do that.
Yeah.
He's older too. These kids could do it a lot. You're older. Do you got kids?
Yeah,
You got kids. You got a full-time job.
Yeah.
These kids, man. He's like, this dude did it with all the stuff he's got going on. I can do this shit. So I mean, seeing guys like you with your transformation, Bryant, the way he changed his life. These kids see that, man, and even though they're young, they recognize that shit, man.
Yeah.
And we could change too.
That's awesome, man.
Yes, sir.
DG, I want to thank you so much for coming on.
Absolute
I
honor.
appreciate you coming on. I want to grow this podcast, and then I want to have you on. I want to promote anything that you have coming on. Next time, you got to tell me a little bit ahead of time so the episode can come out like right
Yes,
before
sir.
the event. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So we can promote it that way. This episode's gonna come out maybe the day after your first event.
Okay.
But it's okay. We're gonna get it going. I want you to give some advice to men out there like me and you. What's a good advice that we should be doing, helping these kids and other grown men? Some advice for them, and then we'll end it at that.
Be real with them. Be honest, be genuine. Kids recognize real. These kids know very quickly if you got their best intention at heart. Be honest, be real, and go the extra mile for them. When those opportunities present on a day where the camp gets canceled, it's rain, and the kid still shows up, bring them out anyways. Opportunity presents itself. You be there, you be present. Every kid you treat the exact same. I don't care what their level is. You treat every kid with the same amount of respect, patience, and enthusiasm. And the biggest advice I'd give to the adults, it's never too late to change, man. It's never too late. Surround yourself with positive people who can uplift you and go get that shit. Drop your nuts. Get outside, man, in the cold, snow, rain, whatever it is, and challenge yourself. Break through those barriers. Watch as much David Goggins videos as you have to, man.
Yeah.
You got this shit, man. Life's too short. Don't die without living up to your full potential or making a purpose or helping somebody, man.
Yeah.
And it's absolute honor. I enjoy doing this, man. I love what you got going. You're giving everyday normal people a chance to come tell their stories and share what they got going on, man. I wish we had something like this in Detroit. This is awesome, man. It just, I really enjoyed it, man.
Yeah, thank you so much,
Yes,
DJ.
sir,
I appreciate you so much,
Yes,
man.
sir.
All right, guys, we'll end it at that. See you next week on Big Yogi's Garage.